There's this book called Outliers, one of my favorite books so far, and it has this part in there was talking about 10,000 hours, and it's saying how when you reach to 10,000 hours of working on something, you basically reach a level of mastery, and it's like with basketball specifically, like you've been training for 10,000 hours, so for 10,000 hours, you reach a level of mastery within basketball, and within that, it's like I think people get too caught up in that theory to where it's like you just have to work 10,000 hours and it's like you're good. But I don't think that's the full truth of it. Like we was taught, especially in the basketball where you got to work hard and break your butt off, and if you ain't dead by the end of your session or whatever, then you work hard. And the smarter I got and more I learned, like I kind of disagree with that. You feel me? So I just wanted to give my personal definition of what hard work is, and I think it's basically where you put a lot of effort and energy into something, whether it's a task or whatever, and that's what hard work is. So I'm putting a table together and I'm working very hard. I'm putting a lot of effort, a lot of energy into it, and I'm working hard. Or I could be in the gym trying to get some gains or whatever, and I'm just going in there, I'm putting a lot of effort, I'm lifting a lot of weight, I'm going hitting every machine, I'm working hard. But I just feel like there's more to it than that, and I feel like in today's day and age, we have a difference of what hard work looks like and feels like, especially when you compare it to our parents or grandparents, to where back in the day they had to work on an assembly line, or had to work in a I cannot think of this word or what it's called, but the Industrial Revolution, had to work in a plant and they had to work on this specific job, and there's long hours in this field or whatever they worked at, and that was hard work then. And I think today's hard work is more of quote unquote working smart, where it's really more mental work, where people sit in front of a computer all day and sit on their phone all day, and that could be hard work for them, but it's just a little bit more mental. And I feel like one isn't better or worse than the other. It's both hard work. There's just difference of hard work. I think we have to get away from just strictly focusing on hard work to thinking more of working smart or training. And I think that we have to really be more specific when we're talking about how we want to work out. I think there's a difference between working out or just like going to the gym to get a workout and actually training. And I feel like when you start training, you get more specific and more strategic on how hard you're going to be working. And I feel like when you're training, you're working smart. When you're working out, you're just working hard. And I feel like people try to combat this thing of working smart versus working hard. And I feel like we need to blend both. I think people the old generation sometimes try to talk down on working smart because they feel like you're being lazy. I feel like that's just not true. It's like today's day and age, you can work very hard, but I sit at this desk and I just work on the computer. So all I do is tap the computer. But most stuff now is like apps and electronics and a lot of digital stuff to where that requires a lot of hard work, and I'm not physically being beat down by it like we did back in the day, because as we progressed over time, this technology has gotten us to a point to where it's like we don't have to work as hard. We don't have to be physically beat down and just so tired after whatever we get done doing, So I feel like we have to differentiate that. Number two is just that I kind of like what I was just saying. Like now, today's hard work is more of thoughts and it's more of mental versus the muscle. So I said back in the day, they had to work the coal industry. You had to work in the field and break your back over trying to get the coal out. Coal miners. You had people working on trains and Model T with Henry Ford. Like we don't have to work as hard with that anymore. Nowadays, you work on the car, you just press a button and you're good. And for on go get food. Back in the day, you had to go farm, you had to go hunt for it. Nowadays, I just get on my phone, Uber Eats or DoorDash, whatever, and you got your food in front of you. And people trying to call this generation lazy, but our work is more mental to where, man, I'm in school 8 hours a day and I have to go back home and do homework on this computer and I have to go do this on the computer and do that on the computer. Like, it's more mental hard work than physical hard work. And I feel like, once again, neither is good or bad, it's just what we have to deal with this day and time. And so, getting a little bit more on the basketball training side, training smart or working smart is really more of training. So if I'm training, I'm focused on a specific goal. So, and I'm getting there as effectively and efficiently as possible. So my goal is to lose 15 pounds. Instead of just starving myself and just going doing cardio, let me strategically break it down to where, okay, let me just eat, see how many calories I need to eat, and I ain't doing nothing crazy, maybe like 100 calories less every single day. Get me down to my goal, plus working out and lifting 30 minutes every day or 3 times a week and doing a little bit of cardio. That can get my goal there too. So instead of just killing myself trying to work hard, doing cardio every single day, I can work a little bit smarter and not kill myself in this process and get to a place to where I'm healthy and not just I dropped all this weight and I'm still unhealthy, you know what I mean? So I feel like we have to get more when we're working smart. So even basketball wise, like I love Kobe, that's my dog. Like when I think of hard work, I think of Kobe, but we can't always sit back and just be like, I'm gonna work my butt off and be in the gym 6 hours a day. How reasonable is it to be in the gym 6 hours a day for everybody? It's not, because you're in school for the first 8 hours of your day most of the time. After that, you got homework, and after that, you might have practice, and you might have to go to the game, you have to do this for your parents and all this, whatever. You can't be in the gym like that. You know, you might get an hour or two before school, maybe another hour or two after school, and it might be all you get because you got homework or whatever. So we have to be more reasonable when it comes to working smart too. And I think the biggest question to answer for you tonight, in my opinion, how do you work smart? And I feel like we have to, first you have to earn the right to work smart. So when I say that, I think a lot of people try to skip the steps of working hard and just get straight to the working smart. So it's like, I'm just gonna skip the part of me working hard and like the laborious part, like the hard work part that I don't like doing. I'm gonna skip all those steps and get to where I can just sit back on my computer and just have money coming in. But you have to earn the fact of you can work smart now. So for me personally in business, it's about knowing how to operate everything that I'm doing. So I have to personally put in the work and work hard at everything that I'm doing to try and get to a point to where I can put somebody else in these positions. Like my podcast, for example. I have to learn everything there is to do about the podcast. So if it's how to get the podcast put out there, how to edit the videos, how to get guests, how to do this, how to do that, how to have a system in place, I have to learn that. I have to work hard at doing that, so I can earn the possibility of working smart, to where I can just put somebody in place to do all these 5 things I have to do on my own. And now I can just work smart to where I just show up and record, and after that, I'm done. Because now I have somebody else to edit, I have somebody else to get guests, I have somebody else to do the marketing, I have somebody else to do that. And all I have to do is show up and record now. But we just try to skip the step of putting in hard work to where we just want to skip to we're making money, and I have a team, and I have people I'm following the place. That's not how it works. Same thing in basketball. Everybody wants to have the D1 recruit, be a D1 recruit, and they want to, get all the offers and stuff coming in. But it's like, are you putting in the work of a D1 athlete? Are you sacrificing like a D1 athlete? Like, you got to sacrifice something to where you busting your butt and working hard, and you get that rewards later. So you have to work hard first to earn the ability to work smart. If that makes that in that sense, the next step is really just being self-aware. Being aware mentally of who you are, where you are, and how to get to your goal. The best analogy I can think of this is like, if I had the job of training, let's choose some good people. If I had the job of training Jordan and Kobe. I had to train LeBron and Giannis. Then I had to train, let's say, Steph Curry and Allen Iverson, Kyrie, right? So if I had to train these three separate groups, you look at it and be like, oh, they're pretty much doing the same thing. You know, Kobe and Jordan are the same players doing the same things. Cool. LeBron and Giannis, they're pretty similar in a way. I can do that. Steph Curry, AI, Kyrie, pretty the same thing. Small guards, I can do the same thing with that. But I have to be aware of the needs of each of those guys. So specifically with Jordan and Kobe, Jordan was an athletic freak when he came in the league. Like, physically, there's not too much needed to do. But Kobe, he was pretty athletic, but he wasn't like amazing like Kobe. I mean, amazing like Jordan or LeBron or Giannis. So the way I would train both those guys would be a little different. With Jordan, we're gonna get him in the gym to where we're lifting and putting a little more weight on him, and to get him more resilient to where he can take those hits and he can last longer during that game. Versus Kobe, we might put some weight on him too, but I'm more worried about you getting more athletic than you just only being able to hold up. Like Jordan, we don't get you more athletic. Now we just make you be sustained and stay up here, like LeBron's doing. And their quote unquote 10,000 hours would be different. So I'll put more emphasis on Jordan being maintained up here of his health versus trying to get him here. Kobe down here with his athletic ability, I can get him here. So the level of work they're gonna put in will be different. It's not that one's working harder than the other, where they're working, because the self-awareness is totally different. So if I had throw LeBron in there, LeBron's physically ridiculous, but I'll put more time on the skill part with him because he wasn't as skilled when he first came in. He couldn't handle the ball that well, he couldn't shoot. So my 10,000 hours with him would be like, hey, we been in the gym, we getting your handles right, getting a couple moves in your bag, getting that jumper right. And so with Jordan, we focusing on fundamentals, which he already had because he played on Dean Smith. We're making sure the handles are right, making certain moves, getting to your shot. And we'll maintain it physically for your body. We're gonna make sure that you're able to maintain your athleticism and keep you healthy and strong. With Kobe, we're gonna focus on getting him more athletic, getting him stronger, and keep his skills top notch as best as we can. You know, for LeBron, we're gonna work strictly more on skills and make sure that physically he maintains where he is. So LeBron, the 10,000 hours would be a lot more skill. Kobe, his 10,000 hours would be more to develop his athleticism, and Jordan would be like just to maintain his body as long as sharpening the skills more so. That's where you have to be self-aware of knowing who you are as a player. So if it's me, I'm putting in more time with my jumper, making sure my shots are straight, versus somebody else, I'm making sure that the air handles are right. So it's really being self-aware to where you're working smart and not just copying what everybody else does. So I'm not gonna sit back and do the same workout the other 10 guys on my team. I don't need to, because if I'm working on my shot, on my game, I'm working on my shot. And my big man, he's working on his post move. So our 10,000 hours are gonna be completely different. But I still need to put in the hard work to where now I'm working smart and I'm working more self-aware. So that's how I would the difference between working hard and working smart. Because a lot of players out there working in the gym, they're not getting any better because you're just working out there 6 hours and you're not really being effective and efficient. Because if I can get the same output in 4 hours of work, let's say 2 hours, let's say nothing. If I get the same output of work in 3 hours that whole day that you had to put in for 6 hours, I'm working smarter than you are. There's no reason I should have to work over 3 hours that complete day, and you working 6, and you're not able to get the same output. So at some point, you're just getting up extra shots for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, not in a bad way, but like, you have to work smart at the same time. Because if you're in the gym 6 hours, you're missing time on recovery. Like, you're putting your body beat up and going through this process that you could be spending time on something else. You know, so I'm not saying you just get lazy and just only work the minimum amount, but like, it gets to a point we have to be very specific and very sophisticated with our training and not just going to the gym doing anything. So if, you know, the whole Kobe method of getting up 1,000 shots, that's cool, but like, after a while, you're taking bad shots, and at one point, are you getting a negative return on the output that you're putting out. So I'm putting up 500 shots to 1,000 shots, but if I'm taking 500 bad shots, I'm not getting a good return. I'm not working smart at that point. If I can take 100 good shots, those are better than those 500 bad shots. So I just feel like we have to get to where, one, we earn the right to work smart, where we can be quote unquote lazy. Two, we have to be very self-aware of what our hard work specifically is going to be. Where am I 10,000 hours going to be dedicated to? And then being aware of how to get specific to my goal, and not always just like scrambling, doing random stuff or whatever, and just doing anything to get to this goal when you can work smarter to get there. And so that's pretty much it for my talk of 10,000 hours theory of what real hard work is, and like training smart versus training hard and all that.